From the murky waters of the sportsman's paradise, stories emerge. Stories of the generations of people who have shared in the bounties of the land. Stories of communities that have persevered through natural disasters. Stories of the abundance of fish, wildlife, and adventures that create an ecosystem rich in diversity. And from the silted banks of the mighty Mississippi to the soggy marsh bottoms, from the tops of towering pine forests to the depths of the salty Gulf, human and animal have shared this fortune for centuries. Enjoy these stories as told by outdoor journalists who travel across our state, documenting the adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
Hi, and welcome to Bayou Wild TV. I'm Don Dubuque along with Martha Spencer. Welcome aboard. This week we go Ride the Bull, one of the largest, in fact I think it is the largest kayak tournament in the world, takes place in Grand Isle. We take a look back at 10 years of Ride the Bull.
It's became, or has become rather, one of the premier rodeos of the summer, and there's a rodeo every weekend of the summer after Memorial Day.
Yeah, Kristen and I were just kind of both astounded and happy and a little bit proud. And to be honest with you, I see a bunch of visitors coming to Grand Isle with kayaks now, and it gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling. Yeah.
A handful of people have asked me what's the goal, and look, the goal is to have another great party from my standpoint, but I think we're going to shoot for 1,000. We've broken the 700 number once or maybe even twice, but we're going to try to get into that 1,000 if we can.
There's over 700 people entered in this year's event this weekend. A lot of people from all over the globe come out to check out our red fishing. And speaking of redfish.
Yeah, we got a great recipe coming up from a Louisiana legend that we say goodbye to. All coming up from Morton's Seafood Restaurant and Bar on the banks of the Tchefuncte River in Madisonville, where you're watching Bayou Wild. Closed captioning made possible by Ceto.com. Become a member. I've been using Louisiana fish fry products so much, even the kids are getting into it.
Fonio bag, pour and boil, a great crawfish every time.
And whether you're boiling crawfish, shrimp, or crabs, Louisiana fish fry products use the perfect blend of garlic, onion, spices, and salt for your seafood boils. So look for the bright yellow bag and pour and boil with Louisiana fish fry products.
10 years ago, we were sitting on my porch overlooking the bay, and it probably was coming out of Redfish Rodeo or something was going on, and just had an idea. I said, we ought to do something like this for kayaks. Really, I guess it was destiny.
Hi, I'm Captain Danny Ray. Welcome to the first annual Ride the Bull.
We wanted to get everybody involved and have a festival that got kayakers all together in one place to catch bull reds, live catch and release, and I was just like, that sounds amazing.
It was just such a unique tournament, and it was a small group, but we all kind of looked at it and went, man, this could be really big.
You're about to see what 630 kayaks looks like leaving a marina.
I would kind of compare it to Woodstock. If you see all the pictures from Woodstock back in the day, it's people just everywhere. In our case, it's people in kayaks just scattered all over Bridgeside Marina.
They're going to be sitting out, and it's going to be a beautiful sight to see all these kayaks to go ahead and ride the bull at the Caminada Pass.
Another world record. We're approaching 700 on registration. We got plastic for miles. Could be well over $1 million worth of kayaks and gear in the pass today.
All about community, and I've said it a few times, but it's kind of like what Sturgis is to Harley's, Ride the Bull is to kayakers.
Jacob Scott from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Lucas Stewart, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Paul Bailey from New Zealand. I wanted to go on a legendary sleigh ride on a bull red.
You're out in the deepest part of Caminada Pass, and there's 750 kayaks, and it's like almost playing a slot machine, winning, because you throw your line out and you're hoping you're going to catch a redfish.
There's nothing like it in the world where you can go out on a kayak, catch a 30, 40-pound fish, and have it released unharmed back into the Gulf of Mexico. For the most part, it's anybody's game.
It's unique, it's a one-of-a-kind, and you know, it has been a pleasure to deal with ever since.
We knew it was going to be one of the world's largest kayak tournaments. We didn't know it was going to be this big.
Year two, things just kind of doubled up, and at that point you begin to wonder, how big is this thing going to get?
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouse's.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouse's. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouse's makes.
If you're lucky enough to bag a deer or a hog this season, bring it here to Double D. Double D processes hogs and exotic game and guarantees your product is always the meat you brought to Double D.
Double D Meats in Bogalusa, home of country smoked, spicy jalapeno cheddar, and other customized flavors.
Bring your deer or your hog here to Double D, where you always get your meat back in return. It's worth a drive to Bogalusa from anywhere. Double D.
I knew kind of that the spectrum of people we would attract would be really broad. First year, we offered free place to camp out behind our house, and we had a couple of guys that are now on the Hobie team show up, and they were in their Pelicans and their little Toyota truck. I noticed that it was not just kayakers, it was kind of a thing with community, you know, and people were all happy and they wanted to see the other people's boats, and they wanted to see their trailers. You know, kayak fishing was pretty much a brand new sport.
You're close to the water, you're right there. When you turn loose, you're getting that rod, he's pulling you around, you're fighting the fish, you know, while you're doing it, maneuvering back and forth and stuff, and it's just a unique experience. You know, it's a lot better than standing up in the boat just fighting him. You got it's a lot more intimate, you know, experience with this fish. He's coming up splashing 2 feet from you, you know, and then taking off again and starting over.
We got involved year one. You know, Danny and Kristen had put together a handful of volunteers to Ride the Bull, and a couple of them being John Walther and George Huey and Tim Osborne were all board members of ours as well. And so they engaged me just because I love to fish Grand Isle.
So in the first couple of years of Ride the Bull, it was a lot of entry-level kayakers getting out there, getting their chance to see what kayak fishing was like. And that's what was the thrilling part for me, was seeing, there was a few, you know, wilderness systems and Hobies and natives and some of these nice kayaks, but the really exciting thing was seeing these, you know, $300 Academy boats that somebody just went and picked up so that they could go out and ride the bull. And so it was literally a mix of all different kinds of people.
We didn't really know what to expect. Backpacker gave us a kayak, and Native Watercraft gave us a kayak, and we hoped some people would show up, and we were pleased. We had 75 participants. We kind of walked away from it going like, we might have something here, let's keep going.
It was literally a mix of all different kinds of people, and it was a lot of entry-level kayakers that had never been on the water before, and they're all out there riding the waves, catching giant fish, and it was just, I knew right then that this was going to be huge after the first couple of years, and sure enough, it went from 180 people to over 300 to 400 in the first coming years. So it was exciting seeing all these people just in the first kayak they can get their hands on.
A grassroots effort, really. Started here at Bridgeside, getting a facility, and of course this facility lends itself perfectly. You're right here, you paddle 400 yards and you're in prime bull red country.
It takes the serious vibe that tournament kayak fishing has created over the past couple of years and then just simplifies it and kind of lets it be available for everybody to do. So you're not pressured to catch a big fish every day.
I was born and raised in Texas, but my friends from Casey Kayaks invited me out to ride the bull tournament down in Grand Isle. I asked them what it's about, and they were just so funny about it. They were just like, hey man, it's just a really easy tournament. It's a whole bunch of kayaks get together, fishing this path, a lot of good food, a lot of good people. Just come on out, make a whole weekend of it.
Last year we had 170 people from all across the northern Gulf of Mexico, and this year we're shooting to break 200.
Over time, we sponsored it, and then I became weighmaster. Then I was a chase boat, and and 10 years later, now I'm the tournament director, and it's a CCA hosted event.
I think the thing I was always most afraid of was bad weather and having to cancel. More times than not, we got through it.
It is 7 a.m. in Grand Isle, Louisiana, and as you can see, it is officially started. We've got over 700 kayakers going after a bunch of bull reds.
I won this boat fishing the CCA Star Tournament. Felt surreal for about a week.
My name is Amelia, and I'm from Abbeville, and I won this boat.
There's 100 redfish waiting. It all starts Memorial Day weekend. Sign up today.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouse's.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouse's. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouse's makes.
Some things in life smell delicious. Others, not so much. Like a gas leak. Propane, for instance, is naturally odorless. That's why we add strong odorants to alert you if there is a leak. So if you ever smell gas, turn your system off at the tank and call your propane dealer immediately. Propane is a safe and exceptional fuel, and we want to keep it that way.
Actually, in 2015, we were fishing on Friday right before the tournament. We found a spot. We caught a bunch of bull reds right there, caught some real big ones. So didn't catch anything that year, but I actually went back there in 2016. And it was pretty slow that morning. It was one of the late morning bites. And I was sitting in a crowd of I don't know how many people, and all of a sudden my reel starts singing off. And fought it for 5 or 10 minutes, got it in the boat, and I mean, honestly, I was shaking so bad I didn't really understand how big the fish was. So it was a good, I'd say 5.5 hours of just waiting and hoping nobody else brought in a bigger fish.
I was fishing on the right side of the bridge with mullet on the bottom. We had 2 fish hooked up 10 minutes before that and lost both. My husband and I each lost one, and then about 10 minutes later, I started reeling that one in. I fought it for about I guess 5 to 10 minutes on my YOLO paddleboard, and I wasn't able to put them in my net, and so we had the boat come by, and the boat helped me get them up. And
that's the great thing about Ride the Bull is that it is anybody's game. I mean, we had 2 years straight, back to back, where women won it. One of them was on a paddleboard, and she had some kayak fishing acumen. And the next year, we had a woman in a borrowed canoe win it, and it was.
This has been my favorite weekend of the year for the last 4 years. My brother introduced us to this tournament. He's been here 5 years now, and this has just been so much fun. I enjoy every year I come here, and next to my wedding day and the birth of my children, this has been the coolest day of my life.
That was when Ride the Bull was really starting to flourish and take off, when having these pictures of these 100-pound girls holding up bull redfish.
The first time I heard about it, I bought a small Pelican kayak, and I walked over to the bridge and looked at it with my grandson, and I said, I think we could do this. Fished it and loved it, and I'm hooked on it. But the big thing about that event is that it's about coastal conservation and the CCA and what that organization does to work the effort to save our fragile coast.
Fortunate enough to be involved with Ride the Bull since its inception with Danny and Kristen Ray, and now with its home with CCA and the Backpacker and those wonderful sponsors. It's been fun. I mean, it's always an event you look forward to every year. I always like the fact that you don't have a motorboat to have a good time at Grand Isle.
It is a unique experience from a fishing perspective, but then on the party and festival perspective, since it's mainly a luck tournament, you need to be well prepared, but whoever catches a big bull red, you don't need to be a professional. And so the event is much more about the party and the festival and everybody getting together than it is just the fishing alone.
Well, I've covered a lot of fishing rodeos, tournaments, events, but I got to tell you, Ride the Bull is one of a kind. And when it started several years ago, I kind of had my doubts about it. People going out in kayaks, catching bull redfish in Kaminai Pass, and now we've seen what it's grown to become, one of the biggest kayak, if not the biggest kayak tournament in the world.
It's became, or has become rather, one of the premier rodeos of the summer, and there's a rodeo every weekend of the summer after Memorial Day.
Yeah, Kristen and I were just kind of both astounded and happy and a little bit proud. And to be honest with you, I see a bunch of visitors coming to Grand Isle with kayaks now, and it gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling. Yeah.
A handful of people have asked me what's the goal, and look, the goal is to have another great party from my standpoint, but I think we're going to shoot for 1,000. We've broken the 700 number once or maybe even twice, but we're going to try to get into that 1,000 if we can. We're going to keep making the party and the festival better. Hopefully we grow it. Buggy Vegas over at Bridgeside, he and I talk every year, which, by the way, this truly doesn't happen without Bridgeside Marina, and I'm not sure there's another marina in the state that could pull it off. But we keep talking that we're going to move across the street to Wakeside because we're going to need more room, and so hopefully we will here in the near future.
I'm going to say this for Rad. I'm glad you're doing it.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouse's.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouse's. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouse's makes.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Theophile Bourgeois. It's an unmistakable name across Southeast Louisiana. He's touched the lives, including myself, of many fishermen. In fact, when I moved to New Orleans, he was one of the first fishermen to ever take me fishing, and we told a lot of stories. He was a great guy, and he will be dearly missed.
Well, he got a lot of people started in fishing. In fact, some of the charter captains out there started working for Theophile, and he got them set up in the business.
Yeah.
He certainly touched my life. Can't tell you how much fun I enjoyed having with Captain Theophile Bourgeois, who went by Theophile Jean Antoine Bourgeois.
And he was a great chef as well. Made a lot of good food. We're going to head to the Cajun Vista, where a few months back he cooked one of his favorite ways to cook redfish.
You've seen Theophile and I catching an awful lot of redfish down here in Lafitte. Today we're going to show you what happens to them when they come back here to the Cajun Vista. As you can see, we've put them on the hot grill to get them scored and put some bars on them, and that's just the start. Where do we go from here?
Well, this is, everybody wants to know what you do after the kill, after the catch. So no doubt this is a little bit of concoction that we've done. A lot of people love it. We have it on our website, but I'm going to start off first with some Leon Perrin, some of this Worcestershire sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely want to juice it up a little bit, man. So don't be scared.
Now, this is a special Cajun Vista recipe.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to talk about copyright and stuff after when this is over. The wishbone Italian is very important. Wishbone Italian because of the olive oil in it. Some people just do olive oil. I love the seasoning that's in here, so it's pretty cool. So this is, again, you want to cover it all. Don't be scared. So we get a nice good layer. So what's happening here, this is going to make a really good, say, coating for the base of everything, getting ready to dust on here. So sometimes less is more, sometimes more is just more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. So now we have a little mixture of stuff. So
yeah,
we got,
I guess it's kind of whatever you like individually.
yeah, whatever you
use
personally like.
season.
So we got lemon pepper, we got dry Italian seasoning, we got granulated garlic. That's the most important thing. And it really don't matter too much how you do it. The biggest thing is Leon Perrin got to be first. And then the wishbone dry Italian seasoning is really important. So this is a little
help,
yeah, this is a little dusting. Like I said, just get a good coating. So just a swat. All right, a little bit of that, a little granulated garlic, and the pulse. That's what I'll garnish after, make it look pretty in case we mess up.
You can't hardly mess this up.
No, so we got some fresh fish here just caught, a couple of days ago. So the thing is just a little light dusting. So now this is all your seasoning. So now we got to have the salt and the cayenne and to make it all go. So no doubt, we got to have the Cajun seasoning in here. So definitely same thing. So this is all your salt, everything to make it all tie in. So right now, definitely a little complete dusting. So looking good. So we covered up all your grill marks. So you can't see that we've
they're going to come through later.
So the most important thing, extra long spatula. If I tilt this over right now, Don, everything washes off.
History, yeah.
So my pit's hot. I'm pushing about 600 degrees right now. The biggest thing is coming here.
Keep that skin in that scales goes down.
Right, yes, sir. Never flip this over. So keep it nice and flat.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. That's why we use a long spatula. So your flimsy pancake spatula ain't gonna work.
Grill lid up or down?
Oh no, just to make sure you want to get that look and the smell. So it smells pretty good. So we can actually cover this up. We don't have to come back here by another 10 minutes. So we're gonna chill out. This size fish is about a 15-minute dish. So we're gonna cover up and we're gonna talk about fishing and hunting.
All right, come back and see us for the finished product.
Add the taste of Louisiana to your next meal. If you like creamy, bold, tangy, or spicy, bring home the taste of Louisiana with sauces from Louisiana fish fry products. Whooping cranes are back in Louisiana. Through the hard work of biologists and key strategic partners, whooping cranes have been restored to the cultural icon they once were. But you can still help. To donate to the Whooping Crane program, visit lawff.org.
Thank you to Chevron and the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Foundation for their generous support. So our seasoned redfish has been put on the hot grill for about 15 minutes now. Time's going to vary on the size of the fish fillet you have.
Yeah.
These ready?
They're ready, because
What's
most important part
next?
though, you got to put the special stuff, which
Okay.
is our caramelization. So as you can see, the redfish is cracking. That's the most important thing you can see about fish. As soon as it cracks, you never want to overcook, you know that. So it's starting to crack, so the fish is good to go, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn the fire off. I don't want to catch you on fire like Michael Jackson. But what I like to do is I like to come right in here, man, and just put a nice little drizzle and let just kind of sink in them little cracks. And we got to get a bit for ambiance and get a little smoke on. But the thing is, this is going to melt in right now. By the time we plate it, it's going to disappear. You can see it slowly going down. We're cooking high, man. We're cooking at 550 degrees. Like I said, this is, I guess, about, what, maybe 12 minutes total. So I'll let you do the honor of getting it to that plate without dropping it on the floor, because I'm going to eat it off the ground.
All right, here we go.
You know,
Our redfish Cajun Vista coming
there you
up.
go. Woo! Look at that.
One.
Yeah, the key thing, y'all, keep it flat. Keep it flat. That's a Flintstone plate.
There it is. Good looking stuff.
Look at that, boy. Steaming. Now, they got to put a little more garnishing on it now. So, you know, we got our signature on it. Me and you signing this work. So we're definitely get a little something there. A little something there, man. Make it look pretty. You go to choke on this parcel when you eat it, it wasn't me.
Theophile, this is a pretty easy recipe, but one of the tricky parts is you don't want to undercook it or overcook it. How do you
Overcook.
test for doneness?
Well, that's definitely something always people ask me. And the biggest thing is you can see the cracks, how it cracks in here. So the very first crack normally is right in the thicker part. It's telling you, right, I'm about 95% done. That's when I put the butter on it and shut it off, because the heat is still cooking. So as you can see, this thing's cracked the whole way. And also, too, the flakiness, you can see how it's breaking. So that's definitely just big sheets. I mean, that is definitely, and the firmness. You can feel your fish. It's just like a good steak. When you touch a steak, you can tell medium well and all. Same thing with a fish. If it firms up, you're really done.
How about these black edges? Is
Yeah,
an
that helps too.
indicator
Yeah, that means you're getting ready to burn it.
All right. I think it's time. I think it's time to put it to the final test. What do you think?
See if that's going to be the deal or not there. Let's see. Let's see if this is going to make the cut.
Done.
Oh, yeah, done.
I think it made it.
Yeah, no
C'est
doubt.
bon.